Okay. Good evening, Miss Tasha. Okay. Sometimes the thing called technology can do, all right, act in a way that we do not expect or anticipate. Like I usually say, we just have to take advantage of the situation, all right? Whatever the situation might be, we have to turn it in our favor, all right? Make it favor ourselves. So tonight class, I don't plan to make it a long one at all. All right, it's not going to be a long class like the regular one. We are taking inter, all right, quartile range. Okay, interquartile range. I think am even yet to update that properly. Interquartile range and what we refer to as, okay, quartile deviation. So without further ado, it's okay. We all need to get our rest as soon as possible. Let's go straight into it. Okay. Please, as you join the stream, let's do well to do the needful. Smash the like button and as well say hi, hello, good evening. Let's know where you're streaming from. So we have interquartile range. Okay, let's take that first. Interquartile range, and from there we'll take the other one, which is quartile deviation. All right, quartile deviation. So we have that as that. So when we talk about interquartile range, just like every other topic we have been taking in statistics so far, there's a formula. Okay? And when we talk about the formula for interquartile range, it's quite a simple one. The formula for interquartile range is Q3 minus Q1. Okay? It's quite a very straightforward and simple one. Good evening, Mrs. Banksweet. It's good to have you on board. So it's quite a very simple and straightforward formula for interquartile range. So we're going to take some questions now. I'm going to take some illustrations to further interpret, to further explain what it means by solving for interquartile range. So we have the data 250, 540, we have 450, we have, okay, that's 470, we have 590, we have 620, we have 650, okay, we have 680, we have 690, we have 730, 750, 730, 750, 770, and 810. All right. So these are the datas. Okay. So how do we go about this? It's very simple. Now, when we talk about the Q3 and the Q1, how do we go about Q3 and Q1? Now, if you remember, I'd like to take you back to when we did range. And we said range is the highest minus the lowest. Can we all hear me? Okay. So now, I said range, if it was just a regular range that we have to solve for in this question, what we just need to do is to rearrange this, then pick the highest and pick the lowest, then minus it from each other, and we have our range. But this is a bit different. We are still going to apply that same approach and method, but there are certain things we need to observe first before we can do that. So the very first thing you are expected to do now is to rearrange this. Okay, you can do the rearranging ascending or descending. All right, could be ascending or descending order. But to be on the safe side, all right, let's not make things too complicated. Let's do it in an ascending order. All right. So if you are to arrange this data, if you are to rearrange the following data in an ascending order, what are we to do? So we'd have, okay, I think I need to. I think I need to power this real quickly because it's giving me some signs and we'll be needing it very soon. Okay, so let's do this in an ascending order. How do we achieve that? So if we have to rearrange this, we'd have ascending order, we'd have 250, 470, 540. Please, if you are there with your calculator, if you are there with me, you can do the rearranging as well. All right, you can do the rearranging and let us know what you're rearranging in ascending order is on in this comment section. So you can just do the rearranging, then drop it in the comment section. Okay, so we have, I'll be doing mine, you can as well do yours so we can cross check together. So we have 250, we have 470, we have 540, we have 590, we have 620, we have 650, 680, we have 690, we have 7. So that is mine. Mrs. Regina, have you done your rearrangement? Mrs. Banksweet, have you done yours? Miss Tasha, Miss have we all done our rearrangement? Are we on the same page? Does it correspond? Are we on the same page? Does it correspond? Okay. Are we on the same page? I'll be waiting for a response. Okay, I think I've seen some nice stuff on the comment section. Okay. Are we doing the needful? Okay. Now, let's take a step further. Okay. Now, it will be better, Miss immaculate. It would be better if you could just have everything listed on the roll. It would be better that way. So now that we've rearranged this in an ascending order, the next thing we are expected to do, all right? So I'm just going to erase this. So now that this is rearranged, so we are solving for Q3. And we are solving for Q1. Now that this is rearranged, there's something we need to do very quickly. As far as interquartile range is concerned, we are expected to get, our target, all right, is from the center, all right, is from the center of this data. And how do we do that? We need to take our counting from both ends, all right. Our target is the center, but we need to be sure, we need to be on point, we need to be accurate of the data. So what do? We start the counting from both ends. We do the counting from both ends. So we have 810 and 250. All right, so I'm just going to use a different shade. So we have 810 as 1. We have as 1. So we have 2. Then we have 2. We have 3. Then we have 3. We have 4. Then we have 4. We have 5. We have 5. Now, we've been able to arrive at, all right, okay, so let's just do 6. And then we have 6. So from here, I can do the rearrangement. So let me just rearrange. So that means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? But either ways, if you're okay with the first approach, we are good. So now from here, we cannot detect the center. So let's divide the center. This is the center. Now, the information, the data we'll now focus on now will be, all right, let's name this batch A, and we have batch B. We have the batch A and we have the batch B. So what are we expected to do next? What we are expected to do next, all right, we will therefore, from this angle, start the counting again. Now, as far as this division is concerned, this is the, all right, this, we have the lower and the upper. Are we good? We have the lower and the upper. Okay? Now, but let's just tag it with A and B. Now, from this point, we are going to take our counting from the lower and the upper side. Then, we'll get for Q1, all right, and we'll get for Q2. So we have lower, all right, and we have upper. You can just name it, let's just name it LQ, All right, lower quartile, and we have upper quartile. All right, so this will be Q1, this will be for Q3. Since Q3 is more than Q1, are we on the same page? So from this point, we would have, okay, let's count again from the lower for Q1. So start counting from 1. No, let me use marker. Usually it doesn't take this long, but basically because we are just starting the whole thing. So we have 1, and we have 1, we have 2, and we have 2, we have 3, and we have 3. All right. Now that we've been able to add 3 here, 3 here, we are now going to erase this and take our focus on these 2. That's our focus. So now, for Q1, it equals to 590, all right, plus 540, or we have 540 plus 590. That is for Q1. So for Q3, we are doing the same. There's no need for us to count now. I think we've passed that level. So for Q3, we have to take it from here. 1, 2, 1, 2. We are left with 730 and 750. So we have 730 plus 750. So Q3 equals what? So it's not the answer. What is our Q1 and what's our Q3? What is our Q1 and what is Q3? Are we all together? Are we all on the same page? I'm seeing some interesting stuff on the comment section. Okay. What's our Q1 and what's our Q3? Okay, without further ado, this is 590. Okay, I think some issues with calculation tonight. Okay, so Q1 is 1130. All right, Q3 is 1480. So from our formula, we have Q3 minus Q1. So what's our final answer? So now that we know our Q1, I know our Q3. So what is our final answer? Okay, let's be proactive tonight, please. I want each and every one of us to participate. Do we have our answer? Awesome. Thank you for that, Mrs. Regina. Yes, thank you very much for that. Yes, 350. Thank you very much for that. Awesome, awesome. So we have that as that. Okay? So that's how it is when we talk about interquartile range. Okay? We have that for interquartile range. Okay? Now, for what we refer to as quartile deviation. Okay? For quartile deviation, it's a little bit different. For quartile deviation, it's a little bit different. All right, it is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Okay, it is Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2. Okay, now let's go through this. Before, now let's go through this very quickly. We missed a step at the point. Now, this is a step we missed. Before we arrive here, okay, before we arrive here, we are expected, okay, I think now I see, all right, please divide 350. Divide 350 by 2. What will be your answer? When you divide 350 by 2, what will be your answer? We should be... No, it can't be 150. I didn't say 300. I mean 350. $175. Wonderful. Now that we've gotten our Q1, now that we've gotten our Q3, we are expected to divide it by 2. Okay? We are expected to divide it by 2 before we get our, alright? So divide it by 2. Divide it by 2. Then Q 3 minus Q1. So if you have to divide 1003, 1130, 1130, you got divided by 2, 565. Now I notice what Miss Immaculate did. All right. I think this is powered. We can use the microphone now. Yeah, I think we can use the microphone now. So from here now, what is our answer for this? This should be 565. 565. And the other one, Q3, should be 1480. All right, divided by 2. That should be 740. We have Q3 minus Q1 equals 740 minus 565. What's our answer? Minus 565. 175. And this is our final answer. Are we together? Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, we are not together. Now, do you understand it up to this level where we did all this? Good. So now that we've added these two, we are expected Q1 is to be divided by 2. All right. Don't forget, we are doing inter. All right. We are doing interquartile. All right. So when it's interquartile, we are expected to divide our Q1 by 2, as well as the lower and the upper must be divided by 2. Okay. The lower and the upper must be divided by 2. It's just like more like half. All right. That's interquartile is more like half. So now, as we are now moving to the other one, which is quartile deviation, is like 4. So this is more like 2. So a very simple thing is that as we have added these two together, we got our answer. We divided it by 2, which is this. The same thing for the upper, all right, upper quartile level, all right, or upper quartile. We did add both, divided by 2, we got 740. So now that we know what these two final answers are, the formula for interquartile is just, all right, the upper quartile minus the lower quartile, which is 740 and 560, and we have 175. So if you have to solve for QD now, all right, if you are solving for QD with the same information, QD, what we just need to do is Q1, Q3 minus Q1 divided by 2, meaning that this our final answer. We'll still divide it by 2 again. then we get our QD. Are we on the same page? Then what will be our answer? Yes, 87.5. It's as simple as that. 87.5. Do we understand it now? He said our class tonight is going to be a very short one. So this is it basically. It is what it is. So I'm going to give us an assignment, and tomorrow, not until Monday, all right, we are going to continue our classes. So tomorrow we have Sunday, and Monday we'll continue our classes. So I'm going to give us assignments now. Interquartile interquartile range. All right, and solve for quartile deviation using the data below. So we have the data, and it is what it is. So call it a wrap for tonight. Thank you very much, everyone. I believe you all have been able to gain something in this class. Please let's do it to keep our notes up to date and submit them to the appropriate quarters. Do have a wonderful evening, and bye for now.